So in this video, we are going to learn how to create MailerLite subscriber and add record in Airtable on swipe pages form submission. Let's say you have created a landing page using swipe pages in which you have added a form as well. Now you want that whenever a user makes the form submission, you want to add that user as a subscriber in MailerLite and also want to add those form responses as a record in Airtable. So let me tell you, you can actually automate this process in such a way that whenever we are going to receive a new form submission in swipe pages, automatically the user who made the form submission will be added as a subscriber in MailerLite, and also we are going to add those all of the form responses as a record in Airtable. Now, if you want to know how you can set up this automation, for that you just have to come with me to my screen.
So as you can see, here we are on Pabbly Connect's dashboard. Now to reach this dashboard, you will get a free sign-up link of Pabbly Connect in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can create your free Pabbly Connect account in just 2 minutes. And after reaching to this dashboard, just click on Create Workflow and give this workflow a name. For example, I would like to name my workflow as Swipe Pages to MailerLite, Swipe Pages to MailerLite to Airtable. You can basically give any name of your choice and then just click on Create. Now you can see that our workflow is open over here, and in this workflow we have two different windows. First one is the trigger window and second one is the action window. So triggers and actions are basically those two concepts, those two principles on which this whole automation works on, where the trigger says when this happens and the action says do this. So let's start with our trigger window. Now the idea here is, first we have to connect our swipe pages account with Pabbly Connect in the trigger window, so that every time we receive a new form submission in swipe pages, the form which we have added on the landing page in swipe page, every time we receive a new form submission over there, automatically the details of that form responses will be received inside Pabbly Connect and this automation workflow will trigger. After that, using this Pabbly Connect's automation, we are going to send those form responses to MailerLite and we are going to add that user over there as a subscriber, as a contact. And at last, we are going to add those form responses in our Airtable database as well as a new record. So it's a very simple automation. Let's begin. Starting from our trigger window, in Choose Apps, search for Swipe Pages. Just select it. After selecting Swipe Pages, in Trigger Event from the drop-down, select New Form Submission as the trigger event. After selecting a trigger event, Pabbly Connect gave us a webhook URL. Now using this webhook URL, we are going to connect our swipe page form with Pabbly Connect. So what we have to do, we just have to copy this webhook URL from here and follow the help text given below over here. Now to add this webhook URL and get form responses, we will be going to our swipe page account. After reaching to a swipe page account, here you can see this is a landing page which I have created using swipe pages. Let me open this. So I'll just open it in the view mode and here you can see this is a landing page which I have created, and in this landing page I have this particular form. Now to add the webhook URL in this landing page, just click on these three dots and go to edit section. So the edit section of this landing page will open in front of us. Now here you can see an option of integration. Just click on integration and here you can see webhooks. Click on this webhooks option over here. After clicking on webhook, this box appears in front of us. Here it is asking us for the webhook name, webhook URL and webhook type. So in webhook name, you can basically give any name of your choice. So I'll name it as Pabbly Connect. Then in webhook URL, we have to paste the exact same webhook URL which Pabbly Connect gave us. Just copy this webhook URL from here and paste it over here. And now in webhook type from the drop down, because we want to send the details of the form submission form responses, we are going to select form submission over here. Now click on continue. After clicking on continue, it is asking us to select the HTTP method. So in the drop down, we have two methods, get and post. So we will be selecting method at post over here. So here it is clearly mentioned in the help text that we have to select the method as post. Then just click on continue. Now we don't want to add any custom field. These are the fields which we have in our form, the same fields over here, first name, last name, mobile number and email. So we want to send the same details as well. So we'll be just not making any changes. Go to next. We don't want to add any additional fields. So we are just keeping it blank. Now click on continue and it is done. We have successfully added this webhook URL in this landing page which we have created using swipe pages. Now every time we are going to receive a new form submission on this particular form which we have created or added in our swipe pages landing page, automatically the details of this form submission will be captured inside Pabbly Connect. And here in our Pabbly Connect workflow, it is showing us waiting for webhook response. This means Pabbly Connect is waiting to get some details of the form submission, some form responses from swipe pages. So what we are going to do? We are going to make a test form submission over here. Let's say the name of the person is demo user. This is a dummy mobile number of this user, and then this is the email address. So right now in this particular form, what we have done, we have just now entered the details of a test user, a dummy user. Now let's click on this submit button. And as we click on submit, we will see we have just now received a form submission in our swipe pages form. And after receiving this form submission, because we have connected our swipe pages account with Pabbly Connect, we will see in our Pabbly Connect workflow, in this trigger window, we have received the response. And in this response, you can see the details of the exact same form submission. Here you can see the same first name, same last name, same email address, and also the same mobile number. This means the step 1 of setting up this automation is completed. We have successfully connected our swipe pages form with Pabbly Connect and received the form responses from swipe pages in our Pabbly Connect workflow. Now after this, let's move to step 2. In step 2, what we want to do, we want to add this user who has made the form submission as a subscriber in MailerLite. For that, we will just scroll down, come to this action window, and here in choose app, we are going to search for MailerLite. Just select it. After selecting MailerLite, in action event from the drop-down, select create or update subscriber. After doing this, just click on connect and select add new connection over here. Now here guys, we have to connect our MailerLite account with Pabbly Connect. And to make this connection, we have to enter the API token of our MailerLite account. Now you must be thinking how you can get this API token. So to get it, just go to your MailerLite account and from the left sidebar, here you can see integrations option. Just click on integrations. After coming to the integrations page, under API, just click on this use button. And after clicking on use, here you can see the list of all the API tokens which I have generated. Right now in my MailerLite account, I have generated only one API token that is named as test. Now to generate a new one, click on this generate new token button. Give this token a name. For example, I'll name it as Pabbly Connect. You can give basically any name of your choice. Just select this option and click on create token. And here you can see that a API token is generated in our MailerLite account. Just copy this API token from here, go to Pabbly Connect and paste it over here. And after pasting this, just click on save. Now when we click on save, we will see our MailerLite account will get connected with Pabbly Connect over here. After connecting our MailerLite account, the first thing it asks us is the subscriber email. So here guys, we have to basically enter the email address of the subscriber which we want to create. And if that subscriber with the same email already exists in our MailerLite account, then using the same action event, we are going to update the subscriber details over here. Now guys, if you already have some subscribers in your MailerLite account, in this dropdown, you will get a list of existing subscribers. But because we want to add a new one, we will just turn this mapping button on in front of it and we will just click on this field. After that, here in the dropdown, you can see a list of all the responses which we have received from swipe pages of form submission. So basically what we have to do, we have to enter the email address of the subscriber, of the user which we have received from swipe pages form submission. So from trigger responses, we have to map this response of email address which we have received from form submission over here in the subscriber email field. So we just clicked on this field and in the drop down we can see a list of all the responses which we have received from swipe pages of a form submission. Out of all of this, just select this response of email address and it will be mapped over here. So whatever email address the user is going to enter in this form making the submission on swipe pages, automatically the same email address will be received inside Pabbly Connect, and using the same email, we are going to create the subscriber in MailerLite. After subscriber email, after mapping this email, it is asking us for the status. So here guys, in the dropdown, we have three different options: unsubscribed, active, and unconfirmed. So I want the status of these subscribers to be active. So I'm selecting active over here. Then it is asking us for the group. So if you have created multiple groups as well in your MailerLite account, So you can basically add these subscribers into those groups as well. Right now in my MailerLite account, I have these groups like product deal, course deals and travel details. So if you have already created some groups in your MailerLite account, here in this field of group in the drop down you can see a list of all of these groups. You just have to select that in which particular group you want to add this subscriber. For example, I want to add the subscriber in this group named as product deal. So I have selected this over here. If you want, you can add the same subscriber in multiple groups. You can select multiple groups from this drop down as well. Also, if you want, you can turn this mapping button on and map the group ID of that particular group over here to make it dynamic. Now, after selecting groups, it is asking us for the name, last name, company, country, and all the other details. So we have received the name of the person who made the form submission on swipe pages in the trigger response. We have the response of first name and last name. So we are going to map this response of first name and last name over here in this name field. And as you all saw, the process of mapping is very simple. Simply click on this field and here in the drop down, you can see a list of all the responses which we have received from swipe pages of the form submission. Out of all of this, select the response of first name and it will be mapped. Then just add a space and then map the response of last name. Then once again, it is asking us for the last name. So from the drop down, we are going to map the response of last name. Then it is asking us for the company, country, city. So we haven't received all of these details from the swipe pages form submission. We haven't asked the user for these details. And all of these fields are not mandatory, are not required. So if you want, you can ignore these fields for now as well. Or if you want to get these details, just create these fields in the swipe pages form, and after creating it, whenever the user will enter their details in those fields and submit the form, the same response will be received inside Pabbly Connect, and you can map these responses into their respective fields. Then it is asking us for the phone. So we have received the phone number, the mobile number of the user. So from the drop down, we are going to select and map the response of mobile number. Then it is asking us state, zip, travel destination. So all of these fields are not mandatory or not required, and we haven't received these details as well. So if we want, we can keep these fields blank and then just click on save and send test request. Now when we click on save and send test request, here you can see that we are going to receive some response over here. And this response seems to be a positive response to us. This response shows that the details which we have mapped over here, basically the user who made the form submission on our swipe pages landing page, this user with the same details is now added as a subscriber in MailerLite. So let's check it. We will go to a MailerLite account. We'll just refresh this page once. And after refreshing our subscribers page, here you can see that the same user, the same person whose details we have added on our swipe pages form, the same user with the same details is now added as a subscriber in MailerLite. Here you can see the same email address, the same group which we have selected while setting up this automation. So the group which we have selected was product deals, and in the same group this particular subscriber is added. Then we have the same name, last name and the phone number. So in this way you can see that the same person who made the form submission in swipe pages is now added as a subscriber in MailerLite. So the step 2 of setting up this automation is also completed. Now let's move to step 3. And in step 3, what we want to do, we want to add the same form submission as a record in Airtable. For that, we will just scroll down, click on this add action step button over here. And then here in choose app, we are going to search for Airtable. Just select it. After selecting Airtable in action event from the drop down, select the action event as create record. Then just click on connect and select add new connection over here. Now here guys, we have to connect our Airtable account with Pabbly Connect. And to make this connection, we have to enter the API token of our Airtable account. Now you must be thinking how you can get this API token. So to get it, just go to your Airtable account. On the right top corner, click on this profile option and then just go to Developer Hub. After coming to this Developer Hub section, you can see all the personal access token which we have created in Airtable can be seen over here. Now right now I have only created one token. Now to create a new one, just click on this create new token button. Give this token a name. So for example, I'll name it as Pabbly Connect. You can basically give any name as you all know. Then it is asking us for the scopes. So here guys, in this description, in this help text, you can see a list of all the scopes which we have to select while creating this token. So here guys, in add scope, we have to one by one select all of these scopes mentioned in the help text. So I will be selecting all the scopes over here. Schema. And after selecting all the scopes mentioned in this help text, what we have to do, we have to select the access. We have to give the access of the Airtable base. Just click on this add a base and select this option of all current and future bases. And after that, just click on this create token button. Now, when we click on create token, here you can see a new API token, a new personal access token is generated in our Airtable account. After generating it, just copy it from here, go to Pabbly Connect and paste it over here. And after pasting this, just click on save. Now when we click on save, you can see that our Airtable account will get connected with Pabbly Connect over here. And after making this connection, the first thing it asks us is the base ID. So here in this dropdown, you can see a list of all the bases which we have created in our Airtable account. Now, out of all of them, in which particular base we want to add these form details, these form submission data from swipe pages. We have to select that base over here. So the base in which I want to add my data in Airtable is named as automation. Let me show you. We will just go to my Airtable base and the name of this base is automation over here. So in this particular base, I have created a table named as form responses, and in this table, we want to add the form responses from swipe pages. So I will be selecting this base named as automation over here. Just select it. After selecting the base, it is asking us for the table ID, that in which particular table in this base we want to add the details. So here guys, I have right now 3 different tables in this base: long links, Google Ad campaigns, and form responses. So here in this dropdown of table ID, you can see a list of the same 3 tables. I want to add the form response in this particular table, so I have selected this table over here. Then it is asking us enable typecasting. So I don't want to enable typecasting, so I have selected false over here. And then here you can see all the column of data which we have created in this table. You can see all of these columns as fields over here. Now here guys, what we have to do, we can see first name, last name, email, mobile number, and date and time. So the same form responses which we have received from swipe pages in our trigger step, one by one we have to map these same details into their respective fields. Starting from our first name, we will just click here and you know the process of mapping. So from the drop down from swipe pages responses, select the response of first name and map it in this field. Then select the response of last name from the drop down. After that, let's map the email address. Here it is, and the mobile number as well. So this is the response of mobile number. Also, we are going to map the date and time. So from swipe pages, we have received the response of date and time, that at what date and time this form response was received on our landing page. So you can select and map the response of date and time as well according to your choice. So right now guys, here you can see that in this particular form which we have created in swipe pages, it has 4 fields. So that's why in Airtable, I have created 4 different columns for these fields. If you have more or less fields in your form and you want to add more or less data in Airtable, you can create these columns, your table columns, according to your choice. And all the columns can be seen over here as fields in Pabbly Connect workflow. So you can map the respective data into the respective fields. And after mapping all the details, just click on Save and Send Test Request. After clicking on Save and Send Test Request, here you can see that we have received some response. And this response seems to be a positive response to us. This response shows that the data which we have mapped over here, basically the form response which we have received on swipe pages, the same form responses are now added as a record in Airtable. So let's check it. We will go to our Airtable database, and yes, here you can see that in this particular table and base which we have selected, the same data of form responses are now added. Here you can see the same first name, same last name, same email, and same mobile number. Also, we have the date and time, that at what date and time this form was submitted. So in this way, you can see that the third and the final step of our automation workflow is successfully completed. Now, using this automation, whenever we are going to receive a new form submission in this form which we have created in swipe pages, automatically the details of that form submission will be added in Airtable as a new record in this table, and also we are going to add that user as a subscriber in our MailerLite account. Now here guys, after setting up this automation, we are going to test this automation workflow once. We will go to swipe pages and we are going to enter the details of a new user and make the form submission. For example, this is the mobile number, name, and email address of this user. So let's enter the email address as well. and then let's click on submit. So just now we have received a new form submission in Swipe Pages. And as we receive this form submission, we will see instantly within seconds, a user with the same details will be added as a subscriber in MailerLite. So we will go to MailerLite and refresh this subscriber page once. And yes, here you can see that test user, the same person whose details we have just now added in form submission, is now added as a subscriber in MailerLite. Also, we will see in our Airtable database, a new record is created, a new row of data is added to the table, and here you can see the same form responses as well. This means the automation workflow which we have created in this video is working perfectly fine. And using this automation, whenever we are going to receive a new form submission in Swipe Pages, automatically we are going to add that same user as a subscriber in MailerLite, and we are going to add the form responses in Airtable. So not just these applications, you can connect plenty of other applications with Pabbly Connect. And one more important thing, you will find the clone link of this exact same workflow in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can clone this exact same workflow into your own Pabbly Connect account and use this automation.
If you have any kind of doubts or queries, you can post them on forum.pabbly.com. So if this video was helpful to you, you can obviously like this video, comment down your suggestion, and don't forget to share it with others. So guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you. Have a great day.